Good morning, everyone. It's a lovely day today to share my video with you. Today, I'm going to present to you my action research qualitative assessment to determine some objectives that I have in my major thesis. As an introductory slide, I put this up to show you the nature of the task for assessment 1A. At this point, I'm also now going to introduce to you the abstract statement that describes what I'm intending to do. The pilot mixed method action research intervention that I will be doing utilizes the approach to ascertaining what executives have as a perception of their capabilities to achieve their strategic intentions. This particular strategic coherence effort is designed to review and provoke the need for executives to coalesce their strategic capabilities and intentions. The aim of the pilot, of course, is to engage these business participants in an assessment of strategic capabilities coherence and survey in figure 1, as you'll see, to cause the participants to recognize their different individual and collective perceptions of the firm's current capabilities and the degree of coherence, either lower or higher, that they have, that may or may not mitigate the firm's ability to achieve its strategic intentions. The next slide that I have shows the questions that I will be using to have the participants answer relative to this coherency discussion. They are allowed as much time as they wish to complete these questions, and they are to rank them 1 to 5, 5 being the highest, so that we can ascertain what level of essential capability exists relative to that particular question. The researcher will document the narrative responses for further analysis to identify any trends or patterns between the participants and differences as well. The next slide is in fact the same set of questions. However, there is a code, a narrative attribute code, that I have placed in front of each question to more easily identify the meaning of the statement without having to review the entire statement every time. This code also represents an ability to simplify the interpretation of the statement and will be used in a graphic illustration of the findings. The next slide, of course, is the findings, or what has occurred based on the assessment that was done. As you will notice, the dimensions of the blue triangle indicate the preference by the executives of the capabilities that they presently have. This is an aggregated response of all 3 participants. The response from the participants was disconcerting. Obviously, they thought it was going to be much more robust than it appears. Following this particular presentation by the researcher, a discussion takes place among the participants as to the magnitude and importance of these particular findings in this chart. Categorically speaking, the researcher, of course, has followed up with secondary questions to make sure of the responses that the executives are providing. They are documented, these reflections are documented of the interviews, and of course established into a theme pattern by which we can ascertain any trends of the discussions that take place during this assessment. A further data analysis was completed, which of course developed a ranking of questions and narrative support to these questions, which was fairly consistent. However, even though there is a consistency in their agreement to this arrangement, as you see here, there is of course quite a reaction to the findings that provoked a upsetting or uncomfortable view of how they saw their firm relative to these capability discussions. The sixth slide that I'm going to show you at this time reflects a comparative discussion on the two coherence assessments. The participants felt that the particular first assessment by the questions and graphs wanted another chance to express themselves so that they could see what they feel would be a more appropriate response to this survey. And of course on the right hand side you see this expression shown, which is obviously more complete and robust, and the magnitude is much stronger. The survey itself was quite useful in terms of provoking the discussion about the strategic capabilities that were seen to be important. Participants were first initially reluctant to participate because of the sensitive data that was part of the questioning, but after a while they chose to participate, in that I assured them that no publication of the data or sharing of it would be done, and it's strictly for my use as a researcher to complete this assignment. Since the survey was done and completed and the assessment was provided, it was determined that this approach, using this qualitative-quantitative mixed method approach for a problem-solving intervention, would be quite appropriate to establish the footing needed for the continuation of the research that I intend to do for the larger body. At this point in time, I hope this makes sense to you all, and if there's any questions, please see me in class. Thank you.